Today we're going to talk about what I think is one of the next great frontiers sort of in our understanding of the human body and health, which is our microbiota or microbiome. Let me clear that up to begin with. The microbiota is the 100 trillion bacteria that live within our gut and sort of function symbiotically with us. The microbiome technically refers to all the genetic material within that microbiota, which is more than the genetic material in the human body. And really, we're just beginning to get a broader and deeper understanding of how the microbiota influences our health. And it's everything from working synergistically with our immune system to impacting on our metabolism and influencing things like whether or not we're overweight. And although the research and our understanding is not complete yet, it's very, very intriguing. So just as an example, we do know that when a woman gets pregnant, her microbiota shifts. The gut flora, as we might refer to it, or the bacteria inside of her gut, shifts such that she absorbs more calories from the foods that she eats. Why is that? Because she needs extra calories to support the fetus growing inside of her, of course. Particularly, let's say, for some women who might have put some weight on while they were pregnant, and as I've heard many times in my practice, had difficulty losing the weight after the pregnancy, sometimes even years later. Perhaps that microbiota never shifted back to a healthy state. This is where some of the research is going. Again, what we do know is having a healthy gut flora, healthy bacteria, healthy balance of bacteria in the gut is one of the keys to being healthy overall. What we wanted to do today was talk about and show you some things that you can do to prepare some foods to support a healthy microbiota. So let me tell you a few things that can affect the microbiota in a negative way, and some of them may be more obvious. Most people know medications like antibiotics can have a negative effect. So can non-steroidal anti-inflammatories. That's things like ibuprofen, sometimes referred to as Motrin, for example. But there's a number of other things that can affect the microbiota that you may be less familiar with. Certainly poor sleep can do it. Stress. There's even some evidence drinking water that's chlorinated may affect the microbiota in a negative way. Processed foods, things with a number of chemicals or colorings, artificial colorings in it, and a big one could be alcohol. Those can all have a negative effect. On the positive side are things with plenty of fiber, fermented foods, and some things that we're going to talk about and show you how to prepare today.
So an interesting thing I thought we could try would be a dandelion green salad.
Well, dandelion, first of all, I mean, some people may be familiar with the fact that it's a natural diuretic, but it has a lot of fiber in it. And again, as I've already mentioned, in general, and we don't know exactly, this is the tricky piece, we don't know exactly what to do to get the microbiota back into this healthy, balanced state. We do know that diet has an important impact. Eating more vegetables can be important. Things like dandelion, for example. We know that fermented foods, things like kimchi, which is a fermented cabbage, those things can have a positive impact. Sauerkraut on our microbiota. Garlic, leeks, some vegetables are actually have prebiotics in it, something called inulin. Prebiotics are things that actually help the gut bacteria to grow and to thrive, as opposed to the probiotic itself that you might find in a pill form or that you might find in fermented foods.
I'll let you try it first, honey.
Okay. A little bitter. It's a little bitter.
Some tomatoes or, just something else so it had a little more flavor differentiation other than just this bitter leaf. But it's interesting, and we can go pick it in the backyard. I love this fire cider, but this has made a news flash here because it has a lot of other things in it that people are talking about nowadays that are so good for you. The turmeric, pepper, it has, as Adam was just speaking about, onions. This also has oranges, and I actually love the taste of it. So I have one of these every morning.
Again, I think with products like this, it's unlikely to be harmful to you. It's like anything else. You try it and see. There isn't a large pharmaceutical company that's going to do some big clinical trial on apple cider vinegar. But really, it's about trying it and seeing what it does for you.
Ooh.
All right. Okay, here we go. It does make you pucker a little. Yeah. Likewise with the kimchi, historic food used in Korea. Our first date over 32 years ago was to a Korean restaurant, so we certainly had kimchi on our very first date.
Except I have to say, the first time I tried it, I thought I was going to die. My lips literally went numb, and I'm thinking, what am I eating here? But, you know, I've grown to really love it. Personally, I like it with the rice and the seaweed, because straight up is still a little too spicy for me. So, and if I don't have the seaweed, I will just do it with rice.
Okay.
But we often go to the Korean store and pick it up from there, because back in the day, we could only get them when we went to
Asian market.
an Asian market.